Hello everyone, welcome to the episode of Whiteboard series. In this episode, I'm going to explain how to overcome stress. I have explained about these emotions and all how to overcome it in the previous episodes, but I have not explained it using the Whiteboard series. So in this episode, we will understand how to overcome stress, anxiety, and also depression in different ways. So before I explain how to overcome stress, I'll explain something about my background. So first of all, I was very prone to experience stress, anxiety, especially during exams and all. That is, all my life, all exams, that is 10th, 11th, 12th, engineering, masters, I faced stress, lot of stress during exam. I used to get panic attacks, and also I used to get panic attacks about my job, career, interviews, everything. I had stage fear. I had a lot of things, and I was always living in fear. So what happened was, when I went to the US, my Sade Sati started. So Sade Sati is the 7.5 years of Saturn's influence on your consciousness. So it is not like a negative influence, it is more like a test. So during the 7.5 years of your life, all your karmas, whatever you have accumulated, may let it be bad karma or good karma, it will be paid back. That is, it will revert back to you. So whatever you have done to the universe, you will get it back in the 7.5 years of your life. So when I went to the US, my Sade Sati started, that is January 2023. And I was left all alone. That is, I didn't know how to socialize, and I didn't have many friends. And whoever friend I made, they used to go away because of some kind of friction between my behavior and their behavior. So there used to be small fights, and it led to breakage of friendships. And similarly, I was separated from my parents. That is, when I went to the US, my parents were in India, and I was separated from my parents, and I didn't know how to overcome stress, because whenever I get stressed, I used to talk to my mother, but because of the time zone difference, I was not able to talk to my mother. She was in the Indian time zone, and I was in the Chicago Central Time. So I couldn't call her because she was sleeping, and I faced a lot of stress during those moments, and I didn't know whom to talk to. I used to get panic attacks. That is, I used to go to Subway to work, and inside Subway, I used to get panic attacks whenever the customers increased, and I was the only employee there to work, and that's why whenever panic attacks used to come, I just chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So that is the only mantra I knew. In 2023, I knew only one mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and I used to chant Vishnu Sahasranama every day because my mother said so. So only Vishnu Sahasranama and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya whenever I felt stressed, and it helped. That is, it calmed me down. But I didn't know why it calmed me down. That is, I just asked for help, and Vishnu somehow he removed the stress from my body. And I was not able to connect with any deities also. I was not a strong believer of the deities and whatsoever. I was always into Advaita, that is, thinking everything is false, nothing is true. I used to get these episodes of feeling like the whole reality is false. I'm living in some false reality. I used to get this feeling every now and then in the childhood, but then it stopped. Around 10th grade, it stopped, and I was just living in this reality like how all humans did. So I wanted this episode, that is derealization episodes, more and more, because I didn't want to stay in this reality. That is, there was a strong aversion towards this reality. I didn't like to stay because I didn't have good amount of friends, and I was not fun to hang out with. That is, whoever stays with me, whoever becomes my friend, they always find some fault in me. That is, they feel that I'm not very social. That is, I stay like a very isolated man. So they used to feel that, and they just left. That is, they didn't even care whether to talk to this person. They just left. So this was my case because I was not a fun person to hang out with. So that was my case in the US. And in all my life, I had only maybe like one or two best friends. That's it. And they were in India. That is, I was not able to contact them because they were in India, and it was very lonely in the US. And during this time, I connected with deities. That is, first I was chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya daily. I was not able to connect in the first go. first go, it was very tough. That is, no deities responded. Bhagavati Vasudevaya, that is Vishnu, Om Krim Mahakalikaya Nama, Kali. Nobody responded. But I kept on chanting their name. I didn't care whether they responded or not. It was more like me trying to call a friend, but the friend is not picking the call. I tried. But then there was a service from our college, that is in the when I was doing masters in US, there was, our college provided a service for the students called as counseling session. So I attended the counseling session. There is a therapy session where a person sits with you and talks with you, and I shared all my problems to her, and she felt like I was not doing the thing that I'm interested in. So that sentence that she told was very valuable to me. She told that I'm stressed because I'm not doing the things that I'm interested in. So I went deep into this sentence. That is, I thought, what am I interested? Am I not interested in computer science? So then when I looked deep, I realized I was never interested in anything, whatever the world provided. I was always into thinking this reality was false. So that was the only thing that I was interested in. That is derealizing. Since childhood, the derealization episodes were very fun for me. I was trying to extend those episodes of going to that void. And finally, in the US, I learned how to stay in that void. So what happened was, once she told that I'm not doing the things that I'm interested in, I stopped giving importance to the problems of this Maya. And finally, I started chanting the names of all the deities daily. I didn't care whether they replied or not, because I felt like they were the beings who know the reality better than me, at least better than the humans. Because no human in my entire life knew about what the feeling that I was getting, that is of derealization. And I felt like the deities were only the people who knew about this concept called as void. And in science, that is physics, they talk about black hole in the same way. That is, a black hole is a place where time stops, all the physics, laws of physics break. So I felt fascinated about black holes, that is the formation of breakage of the three-dimensional reality when a star explodes. That is, after the supernova explosion, the star becomes so heavy that it creates a hole in the three-dimensional fabric of space-time, and it's like a ever-pulling suction. That is, whatever comes near it, it just absorbs it and never gives out anything. Even light cannot escape black hole. So this was very fascinating for me, and I felt like that was a way back to our home. But there are different ways to connect with the black hole, the void, the Shiva. So there are 4 ways to connect with the black hole. One is through meditation, that is through bending space-time by your own mind, that is creating the concept of Advaita in a very strong manner. You can bend space-time and go to the black hole. The other way is through high temperature, like how in the supernova explosion, the temperature of the core becomes so high that the three-dimensional fabric breaks and creates a black hole. And the third one is high speed, like how Einstein told that if you go in the speed of light, the time stops and it creates a tunnel, that is towards the void. And high gravity. High gravity is whenever a star or some high mass object in the universe is present, and if it creates the space-time fabric to bend, then at certain point, if the mass is too huge for the universe to handle, then the high gravity will break the space-time fabric. Just like how in a blanket, if you put some heavy metal or hot metal, it just breaks. Similarly, even the three-dimensional fabric breaks in these high conditions. So we don't know the exact threshold, but the practical way is through meditation. For humans, at least, humans cannot go to the void through physical rockets, because it is very tough to go to the void through high temperature, high speed, high gravity, because humans themselves cannot sustain such high conditions. And that's why meditation is the practical and easiest way to connect with black hole. So why am I telling about black hole in this video, about stress? So this video is about stress, however I'm talking about black holes, because the reason is that to know your source. That is, whenever I used to feel derealization episodes, feeling like the reality is false, I used to go to a certain zone where I was just watching the reality. I was not Aditya. And the place from where I was watching was very silent. It was pitch black. And I wanted to stay in that place, but I was not able to. And that's why I started chanting the names of the deities. because there is some reason why our parents tell, go to temples, chant Vishnu Sahasranama, chant Lalita Sahasranama, Hanuman Chalisa, Rama Raksha Stotra. So there is reason why our parents tell to chant those things. And all Indians, if you see, they go to temple, they are instructed to go to temple. And in other countries, the parents tell to go to church, they tell to go to masjid, mosque, and they tell to pray. At the end of the day, the commonality among all the nations is that the parents tell their children to pray to God. And the reason is for help, that is higher help. There is some help which even the parents can't do. The God in the sense, the deities, the supernatural beings can do. So that is the reason we connect with such higher entities who know about the reality better than us. Because we ourselves are deep inside the Maya. There are three realms, that is the physical realm, astral realm and causal realm. So these dots represents the planets, that is the causal planets, astral planets, physical planets. So now we have come deep inside the Maya, that is the truth, the true consciousness is here. So this is the void that I'm talking. All the background story, that is the background of the consciousness from where it is watching the reality, is the truth. And the truth, that is the true consciousness, which doesn't have any vibration in it, doesn't have any thoughts in it. It enters the Maya for some reason. So every person, that is every person living on earth, every person in the causal planets, astral planets, have a reason for entering the Maya. So why do we connect with these deities? The deities are in the outermost layer of the Maya, that is the causal realm. As you see in the causal planets, the gravity is very high. They are very huge planets, and it has high gravity, due to which the time is nearly zero. Nearly, not completely zero. Time is zero only in the truth. In the true consciousness, the time is zero. Whereas inside reality, there is some time going on. In the causal planets, the time is very less, is going in a very slow pace. In astral planets, it is going a little bit faster than the causal. And in the physical planets, like the Navagrahas, the physical galaxies, moon, stars, the solar system, here we have time going in a little bit faster manner. So one day of the causal planets, maybe millions of years in the physical planets. So the more the gravity, lesser the time. The more the speed, lesser the time. More the temperature, lesser the time. And more the meditation, lesser the time. So these are the four ways to bend the fabric of space-time. And the reason I'm talking about all these things is because we have to reduce stress in a scientific manner, not through blind belief. I was never a person who believes anything blindly. I always experimented, that is, I did trial and errors while connecting with deities. So now the reason we are connecting with deities is because these deities are in the outermost layer of the Maya, and that's why they are more capable of helping us than any humans could. So that's why we are connecting. And what is the proof that whatever I'm saying is the truth? So as I told, in the initial days in the US, I didn't know how to cope with my stress. I just chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and Vishnu somehow removed me from that stress. And he promoted me to do meditation, that is sadhana, because I didn't have any humans near me, no parents, no family, no friends, no relatives, and I was just doing sadhana. So sadhana meaning I took a japamala from, there is a grocery shop in Chicago called Siri. So in the Siri grocery shop, I bought a japamala, that is Rudraksh mala. I don't even know whether that Rudraksh is real or fake or whatever. I didn't care. I just took it. I started chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then Om Krim Mahakalikaaya Nama, Om Shrim Mahalakshmi Nama. I was worried about a lot of things like exams, interviews, job. Because after 10th grade, I didn't get that derealization episodes. I was always deep inside Maya. I was thinking how to survive and all that.